Yeah, and Amanda, Mark, I want to show you why this race is being so closely watched, because it will determine who controls the state Senate here in Washington. Currently, you can see Republicans hold the majority by just one seat, but then depending on what happens in this race in November, they will either retain that seat or Democrats will take control in a race for the seat formerly held by the late state Senator Andy Hill, who you may remember died last year.
We want to make sure you can still continue to afford to live in your homes.
Because we have to prioritize people, small businesses.
Meet the candidates vying for the job. Manka Dhingra, a King County prosecutor who supervises a mental health court, a veterans court, and diversion program. And Jin Young Lee England, a former congressional staffer and entrepreneur. Dhingra is the Democratic candidate, England is the Republican. So what would it mean if Republicans lost this Senate seat and Democrats took over control of the state legislature? I asked both candidates and got two very different answers.
One party control of our government is not the most healthy or productive. You know, what happens when there's one party control is that people lose their voice, and it's really political parties that are in control.
There's so much political games being played where people are really not interested in representing the people. And I think that's why I have the level of energy in this campaign, because for voters, they actually have this really unique opportunity because their one vote can change the way we govern.
Dhingra points to record special sessions in Olympia and the inability to reach a deal on the state's capital budget this year. England, meanwhile, says that obstruction is happening on both sides and argues that Democratic control would mean a capital gains tax. There is an intense tax debate that's a big part of this race, since Democrats have pushed for capital gains to help fund education and other budget needs. But Republicans this year pushed for and passed a state property tax hike to get the budget deal done. And that's something voters are feeling and talking about in this district.
So how do these candidates compare on the issues? Well, we'll have an in-depth report coming up at 6:30 tonight on King 5. Then later in the week, we will have both candidates in studio for a mini debate. But more to come next hour. Back to you.